Hey guys, what's up? Sorry, I was having a little problem going from my computer, so I'm switching over to my phone right now. Um, yeah, so if you are on my webpage right now, if you could actually share this onto, I really have no idea what I'm doing, I'm going to be honest. So, um, but I'm learning. Anyways, if you could just take a moment and share onto your page, that would be incredible. That would be awesome. I would really appreciate it, and we'll start getting going in a moment so I could make sure everything is taken care of over here. If you can hear me, that please let me know. Let's see if it's all there. I am showing up. So sorry about this. And then I'm just gonna share that and make sure it's all taken care of. Okay. If you're there, if you can hear me, please let me know. I'd really appreciate it. So I'm just sorry about that. I only play like I'm a good tech person. I'm really not. It's an act. So, which actually connects to what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about how our actions speak louder than words, and that is something I truly believe, and it's something as kind of life is carrying on. I'm realizing the importance of that. I think that a good portion of the time there is a stronger truth in our actions, and ironically, our actions are quite telling. And a good portion of that is looking at where our actions and our words are actually meeting. You know, if you look at something like the beautiful phrases, "I care about you" and "I support you." If there isn't actually acts of care or support to back up the words, then there's kind of a disconnect. You know, there's an authenticity that's missing from maybe ourselves, from maybe our relationships in our life, and so forth. And that's just personally from my experience. And then again, our words do matter. I mean, they have a definition. They have meaning. You know, if you watch a speech, if you watch a movie or listen to a song, the words can make us laugh. The words can make us cry. The words can make us feel. But more specifically with that, and something that becomes like, you know, something we can easily forget in those moments is that the speechwriter, the screenwriter, the songwriter, the lyricist, they chose to use those words based on their experiences, and for us to kind of take in and get our own feelings and connect with our own experiences. And choosing to use are both actions. And this is actually something we do in our everyday life. And a lot of the time, you know, sometimes it's a conscious decision. Sometimes it's subconscious. You know, when we speak words. Again, subconscious or conscious, we're choosing to use those words when we're texting, when we're emailing, when we're doing any of that. They're all choices to use those words. And even our thoughts. In our thoughts, I don't know about you, but in my thoughts, I use a lot of words. There's words going around that are forming the whole of those thoughts. And again, conscious or subconscious, we're choosing to use those words because they matter to us, because they mean something to us. And that is all, those are all actions. So how did I basically become kind of just rather, obsessed with it, right? I wouldn't say obsessed. How did I become obsessed with the fact that our actions speak louder than words and our words matter? It kind of happened, when I got kind of like hardcore and started understanding how the stigma of mental health and mental illness affect us in our day-to-day life and in our life as a whole. For me specifically, it's the stigma of my bipolar disorder. And I've been told that I get into semantics when it gets into this, that I get into the nitty-gritty of the words and what they mean. And I would completely agree. And for me, it feels rightly so, because I believe in order for us to work to end stigma and, say no stigma, it means to educate. It means to educate using factual information. It means educating using our stories and our experiences. And our words are very much a part of that. So a little background on me. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder almost close to 16 years ago. I think it'll be 16 years ago in June. Bipolar and I will be celebrating our anniversary. And, no. And something I got into the habit of saying for years was the phrase, I am bipolar. And I believed the feeling that it gave me was a feeling of empowerment. It felt like I had no shame. It felt like I was saying, I have no shame. This is who I am. This is what I am. Boom. And it felt like it represented strength to me. And then at the same time, what I wasn't realizing was that it was also allowing people and giving people permission to think that was all of me. That was who I was. And along with that is whatever their understanding of bipolar disorder is. Their perceptions, their stereotypes, what they had heard about it, their misconceptions, potential ignorance of what bipolar disorder is. That's what it was allowing them to do. It was allowing them, without telling them what bipolar disorder is, with ignoring who I was up until that point, to say, this is who I am. I am bipolar. So, there are three things that are just, for me, what were basically just crushing over time. Because I am bipolar, over time, took me away from me, because it became all of who I was. I could say I am not my illness, but I am bipolar was saying the complete opposite of things. And everything I did or said, even to me, was all of a sudden attributed to the bipolar disorder, both in other people's minds and in my mind. And it took me away from me, essentially. But the three things that I kind of want to hit upon with that is, so number one, factually, I cannot be bipolar. It's not an identity to have, for many reasons. But, I mean, mostly, a person cannot be an illness. My whole being, eras, outside, inside, is not an illness. It is a part of me. It is a part of my life. It is something I live with daily. But it's not my identity. And then number two, if you want to just simply take the word bipolar, like set it aside from disorder, just bipolar. Its definition is having or creating two poles of extremes. So yes. I can be energetic and boisterous. I can also be quiet and reserved. I know, it's probably a shocker for most of you. And, I mean, those are pretty polar extremes. Except every day there is a whole lot of eras in the space, like, in between. Yeah, I mean, I mostly exist somewhere on the spectrum between the polarities on a daily basis. So, again, I am bipolar there. It's not making sense. And number 3, I believe who I am at this moment, right now in front of you, is a product of all the events, the situations, the happenings in my life. It is my actions. It is my reactions. It is how I've gotten through all of them, how I've lived through all of them. Who I am cannot be defined by any title or diagnosis or any one thing. That is where my sense of pride and strength are. That is the sense of pride and strength I have and that I need to own, even when it's hard to see. So, if anything, bipolar does not define me, but how I live with bipolar every single day. That is very much a part of what defines me and who I am. And that's an action. Living with bipolar disorder is an action, which is why I say I live with bipolar disorder. That is the action that speaks louder than the diagnosis or the word bipolar. Whew, it's a mouthful, I know. So, let's see. Want to see if there's any comments, and looks like no. Before I actually sign off, I do want to give a shout out, but it's really just appreciation for an awesome organization called NoStigmas. They are a mental health support organization, and they are built by people like me who have been impacted by suicide and mental health issues. They are an organization that daily work hard to empower a network right now of over 60,000 allies through self-care, peer support, and advocacy tools. So if you don't know NoStigmas, please go check them out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They are NoStigmas, NoStigmas. And also please check out their website. They're doing amazing things every day and helping a lot of incredible people. You could check them out online at NoStigmas.org. Thank you for checking out my very first Facebook live video. Very exciting stuff. If you don't know the Shek Check or me, you can check me out on Twitter. My handle is ErezShek, ErezShek, and you can also check any of my past Shek Check videos on www.theshekcheck.com, and I will be posting all that information in the comments as well. So thank you so much for joining me.